All right, let's dive in. Today we're going to unpack the incredible wisdom of Swami Vivekananda. Now, this isn't just philosophy, it's a practical blueprint for building some serious, unshakable inner strength. You ready?
You know that feeling? When you're just running on empty, you're giving it your all, but you feel totally stuck, like you're pushing against a wall you can't even see. It's draining, right? The way forward just seems foggy. But what if the answer isn't to just push harder? What if it's about completely rewiring how things work on the inside?
And that, right there, is where Swami Vivekananda's teachings are such a game changer. Look, this isn't some ancient philosophy meant for dusty old books. No way. This is a real, actionable guide from one of the most powerful thinkers in history, and it's built for the exact challenges we're all facing right now. Okay, so first things first, we have to master our mental state. Why? Because absolutely everything, every action, every success, every bit of strength you have, it all starts right up here, in your mind. So Vivekananda had this incredible idea about what he called mental vibrations. The concept is pretty simple but powerful. Your thoughts aren't just these quiet, private things happening in your head. Oh no, they're active forces, they're energy. They create this vibe that you send out into the world, and it acts like a magnet, pulling back the same kind of energy you're putting out.
Let me break it down like this. When your mind is full of thoughts of courage, joy, inspiration, you're basically vibrating at a high frequency. And guess what? You start attracting solutions, opportunities, more inspiration. But when you get stuck in fear, worry, and all that negativity, you're broadcasting a low frequency. And that just pulls in more of the same junk. The crazy part? You get to choose your frequency every single moment.
And get this, here's a super simple physical hack to control that frequency. Vivekananda pointed out that someone who's all slumped over, chest caved in, they literally cannot think high, courageous thoughts. It's just not possible. Your body and mind are completely linked. So try it right now. Stand up straight, pull your shoulders back, you can actually feel your mindset shift.
So how do you make sure you start your day on the right foot, on that high frequency? Well, here's a simple little daily mental reset you can try. Step 1, wake up early. Just claim those quiet morning hours for yourself. Step 2, visualize your success. Don't just think about it, feel it as if it's already happened. And 3, read something that inspires you. Feed your mind good stuff. It's a simple routine, but it can totally set the tone for your entire day.
Okay, so you've got your mind in a strong, positive state. Awesome. Well, what's next? Well, the second key is all about how you translate that inner power into real, effective action out in the world.
Now, this next idea is an absolute game changer. We're all so obsessed with the end goal, right? The final result. But Vivekananda flips that on its head. He says the real secret is to give just as much attention to the process, the how, as you do to the outcome. It's about falling in love with the work itself, with a crazy amount of focus on what you're doing right this second. This is the heart of what he called karma yoga, the science of work. Now, this doesn't mean you don't care about the results. That's a huge misconception. It's about freeing yourself from the anxiety of the result, getting rid of that constant worry of, what if I fail? Or the ego trip of, look how great I am. When you detach from that, your focus becomes incredibly pure, and that's where real power comes from.
And this leads to a really crucial idea. Your character, it's not something you're just born with. It's forged. Think of it like compound interest. It's the sum total of all your tiny, repeated actions. Every little thought, every word spoken, it's like a hammer blow shaping the person you are becoming.
So, if you really want to understand someone's character, or even your own, don't just look at the big, flashy achievements. No, look at the small stuff, the way you walk, the way you talk, the most ordinary, common actions you take over and over. That's where the real you is being built, day in and day out.
This really redefines what success even means, doesn't it? We tend to think success is when all the problems go away and life gets easy. Vivekananda would say, nope, that's not it at all. True success is becoming so strong that every single struggle, every obstacle, just becomes fuel for your growth. It's not about dodging problems. It's about becoming powerful enough to turn them into stepping stones.
All right, this brings us to the final, and maybe the most important key. We've talked about mastering the mind, we've talked about mastering action. Now we're going to go deeper and find out where the ultimate source of all this strength actually comes from. So, where does it come from? This true, infinite strength. If it's all about getting stronger through our challenges, what's the source?
Is it something we have to go out and find? Something we have to earn?
Well, the answer Vivekananda gives is pretty radical. He says that all the strength, all the power, all the wisdom you could ever possibly need, it's already inside you, right now. It's your true infinite self, what he called the Atman. You don't have to build it or find it, you just have to uncover it.
And there's this fantastic story from his own life that just perfectly illustrates this point. He was in Varanasi, walking down one of those really narrow streets, when all of a sudden he finds himself surrounded by this big group of really aggressive monkeys.
So what do? He did what anyone would do. He started to run. But the faster he ran, the angrier and more aggressive the monkeys got. They were closing in, screaming, about to attack. He was genuinely terrified. And just then, he hears a voice, an old man calling out to him with just 2 words, "Face them."
And in that moment of desperation, he did it. He stopped running. He turned around, stood his ground, and just faced the pack. And what happened? The monkeys? They just stopped. They hesitated for a second, and then they scattered and fled. Gone. The lesson here is so incredibly powerful. Your fears, your problems, all the challenges you're dealing with, they're exactly like those monkeys. The more you run from them, the bigger and scarier they get. The moment you turn around and face them, head on, they lose their power and they retreat.
So that begs the question, right? How do you build up the courage to actually face those monkeys in your life? The secret is a single word: abhyas. It means practice. It's not about a one-time moment of bravery. It's about the constant, conscious, daily repetition of strengthening thoughts and actions until it just becomes who you are. It's discipline, not a revelation.
So let's just recap the whole blueprint, the 3 keys to building that inner fortress. Number 1, master your mind. You gotta control your mental vibrations. Number 2, master your actions. Focus on the process, not just the prize. And number 3, master yourself. Face your fears and tap into that incredible strength that's already inside you. And it all comes down to this powerful quote from the man himself. Great convictions are the mothers of great deeds. What does that mean? It means everything starts with what you truly, deeply believe. If you can build an unshakable conviction in your own inner strength, great actions and a great life, they have no choice but to follow. Your belief literally creates your reality. So I want to leave you with a question. Not for tomorrow, not for next week, but for right now. What is one small, tiny action you can take this very minute to start building that strength? Maybe it's just straightening your posture. Maybe it's making that phone call you've been avoiding. Or maybe it's just focusing on a single task without distraction. What's it going to be?